Welcome back, dear viewers. Tonight we expand our canvas to paint the fullest portrait yet of Princess Catherine's triumphant return to state life at Windsor Castle. It was a night that blended personal resilience with diplomatic grace, history with modernity, and intimate symbolism with grand spectacle. Join us as we explore every whispered detail, every radiant gesture, and every ripple this singular evening created across royal life and beyond. From the moment Catherine accepted the king's invitation to host the Macrons, planning began in earnest. Months before, palace officials convened in the state dining room, its walls lined with portraits of monarchs past, to shape an evening that would honor centuries of alliance while reflecting the nuances of 21st-century diplomacy. Security experts coordinated with the Metropolitan Police and gendarmes from France's Republican Guard, choreographing motorcades through Windsor Great Park to minimize disruption for locals and ensure a seamless welcome. Meanwhile, the royal household's table-setting committee pored over inventories of silver service dating back to Queen Victoria, selecting pieces that would sparkle beneath the evening's candlelit glow. As the sun set on July 8, the castle emerged as a living jewel. Torches along the east terrace cast flickering warmth onto the medieval stone, while hidden spotlights traced the battlements in soft amber. Inside, florists arranged cascades of white peonies and delphiniums, chosen for their Franco-British symbolism of unity, while musicians tuned Stradivarius violins in the music room, preparing Beethoven's Egmont Overture as a stirring prelude to the banquet. But the true star of the evening was Catherine herself, arriving in a gown that demanded attention, a deep crimson couture creation by Sarah Burton at Givenchy, featuring a sweeping, detachable cape reminiscent of Windsor's own Norman architecture. The color, rich, bold, unforgettable, echoed the red of the Cross of St. George on the Union flag and France's own warm hues of hospitality. The gown's sculpted bodice, meticulously tailored to accentuate Catherine's silhouette, was embroidered with subtle motifs of thistle and iris, symbolizing her patronage of Scottish and Welsh charities and her role as a unifier of the United Kingdom's diverse nations. Pinned above her silk sash was the Royal Family Order of King Charles III, new, shining next to the late Queen Elizabeth II's order. That very sash, a pale sweep of silk the hue of a clear summer sky, bore the knotted ribbon and gleaming star of the Royal Victorian Order, a gift to Catherine in 2019 for her personal service to the late Queen. Each badge and rosette told a story of trust earned, of steadfast duty, of alliances both domestic and international. The moment Catherine lifted her hair to reveal the lover's knot tiara, a collective intake of breath swept through the room. That tiara, 16 intertwined knots of diamonds and 19 teardrop pearls, has borne witness to history, from Queen Mary's elegant receptions, to Diana's courageous grace under scrutiny, to Catherine's own poised stewardship of legacy. Wearing it tonight, Catherine honored Diana's memory and asserted her own emerging role, one foot in the annals of the past, the other stepping boldly into the future. Guests at the head table included Prime Minister Keir Starmer, President Macron, Chancellor Gabriel Attal, and key members of the diplomatic corps. As Catherine took her seat between William and Macron, she shared a warm word and a reassuring nod with the First Lady, a gesture captured in photographs that will grace history books years from now. Channeling her own experience with health challenges, Catherine offered empathetic smiles to survivors seated nearby, demonstrating how personal strength can forge connections beyond protocol. Every detail of the menu reflected the evening's theme of partnership. The amuse-bouche, a Dorset crab roulette accented with Cornish sea asparagus, was followed by a palate-cleansing champagne sorbet scented with French verbena. The main course showcased British Wagyu beef paired with ratatouille provedcal, a nod to both nations' culinary traditions, accompanied by a 2018 Chateau Margaux vintage selected by the palace cellarmaster. Dessert was a collaborative masterpiece. A honey parfait made with Windsor's own apiary honey, glazed with a champagne reduction courtesy of a sommelier flown in from Reims, and garnished with candied violets symbolizing France's royal flower. Music wove a thread of unity through the evening. After Beethoven, the orchestra transitioned seamlessly to Ravel's Pavane pour un infante défunt, its haunting melody evoking centuries of shared European heritage. Catherine swayed gently as she applauded, the lovers not catching glimmers of light like stars twinkling across a night sky, stars that remind us of hope after darkness. Throughout the evening, the Princess of Wales embodied the dual roles she embraces, diplomat and devotee, modernizer and monarchist. She engaged President Macron in conversations about climate resilience initiatives and educational exchanges, subtly positioning the monarchy as a partner in global progress. To Britain's ambassadors, she offered encouragement on their postings, reminding one new envoy of the power of cultural diplomacy when she recounted a personal meeting with NHS nurses who had trained in Marseille. As the banquet drew to a close, Catherine rose to deliver her own toast, speaking in flawless French. À l'amitié éternelle entre nombres deux nations et à l'avenir que nous bâtissons ensemble. Her words, filled with warmth and resolve, drew standing ovations from every corner of the hall. Even the king, seated at the opposite table, was seen nodding with pride at his daughter-in-law's confidence and multilingual grace. When the last plate was cleared, and gratitude expressed, Catherine and William stepped onto the terrace for a final bow. Behind them, Windsor's towers stood silhouetted against a moonlit sky, and in the distance, a synchronized fireworks display, co-designed by British and French pyrotechnics teams, painted arcs of red, white, and blue above the castle's parapets. For a moment, the world held its breath, witnessing the living tapestry of alliance and continuity. By dawn, the banquet's afterglow persisted on front pages and social feeds. Commentators hailed Catherine as the phoenix arisen and a beacon of modern monarchy. Analysts noted the seamless fusion of personal style and diplomatic acumen, predicting that a rising star would illuminate the royal path for decades to come. In the weeks that followed, Catherine's appearance sparked renewed interest in Windsor's historic state occasions. Historians retraced the evolution of the royal family order, from George IV's courtly assemblies to Charles's modern reinvigoration of the tradition. Cultural editors explored how fashion, those carefully chosen gowns and headpieces, serves as a language of soft power, communicating national narratives in threads and gemstones. Most importantly, Catherine's return reminded us that monarchy, at its best, is a living institution, a chain of service that transcends personal trials and global upheavals. Her red gown symbolized both the blood of history and the fire of renewal. Her orders and decorations reflected respect's rightful recognition. Her gestures of warmth and solace underscored empathy's enduring currency. Thank you for joining us on this extended journey into one of the most significant evenings in recent royal history. Catherine's triumphant return was not just a glamorous milestone, it was a showcase of resilience, unity, and the timeless promise that as long as we carry memory and compassion in our hearts, our brightest moments will always lie ahead. We invite you now to share your reflections. Which aspect of Catherine's ensemble or engagement moved you most? The dramatic entrance, the profound symbolism of her honors, or the heartfelt toasts? Please leave your thoughts below. If this comprehensive glimpse into royal life inspired you, show your support with a like, subscribe for deeper dives, and ring the bell so you'll never miss our next unveiling of Windsor's secrets. Until then, may your own moments of courage shine as vividly as Catherine's silhouette against Windsor's moonlit towers.